fast forward, let's say 5 years. What does VR look like if you were to predict? Like, paint a picture what VR is in
Well,
2000, what, 23.
yeah. Well, I think if you look at 5 years out, first of all, tech adoption cycles around consumer facing new technologies, I think are best exemplified by the iPhone right now, which started in 2007, was not commonly used, even though there were certainly lots of people buying it. And then it got to sort of critical mass density, right? About, 5 years later than that, you could see the writing on the wall. And now, 11 years later, it's at, well, the smartphone, the Android and the iPhone represent, world domination,
Mm-hmm.
with whatever, 2 million or so handsets out there. I think VR will go through a similar, little bit slower scale. So maybe we're on a 10 year, so that, that was like a 7 year, driving all the way to the peak. I think VR
Mm-hmm.
will be more like 10 because the early use cases are less obvious. It's not like everybody wants to get one of these headsets right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a little bit of a rough road around defining things like learning applications that are going to really start pulling, students into these headsets. But we know that the headsets are coming next year that are going to be worth simple standalone headsets that'll have 6 degrees of freedom and track your hands and everything. I think
Mm-hmm.
those are going to drive a beginning first wave of consumer adoption. So if you look like 5 years out, I think we'll still be like in the middle of that. It won't be a fait accompli yet, but we will have a lot of people making daily use of these things. And
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll still see applications that are high value, like teaching, virtual travel, we talked about. I
Mm-hmm.
think we'll see like a lot of that going on to where it's starting to be really widely discussed as, travel replacement, for example. People will say, oh my God, I don't have to go to a meeting anymore. I can jump in one of these gadgets, not take an airplane. So I think we'll start to see early impact there. I think we'll see experiments in entertainment having happened. You and I were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that you can get, 1 million people at a very progressive, new indie kind of concert experience, you can have 1 million people in VR coming to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, that there's got to be
Yeah.
a game changer there. We've been doing a lot of experiments, like putting DJs in head trackers and, letting them do their work behind the stage and just playing with different ideas to try to find out what what the entertainment experience looks like. And I think like
Mm-hmm.
next year, as we start to get consumers buying these things, we'll start to have some prototypical like music experiences that'll happen in here that'll be
Mm-hmm.
quite amazing. So I think by 5 years we're going to see definitely a range of entertainment options as well that are being consumed by what are kind of mid adopters, I guess, to this stuff.